Am I doing anything wrong?
Well, you're filming private cars, not
No, I'm filming public property.
No, you're filming cars.
I'm filming... No, that's what you're presuming.
Well, I've just been
I can
told.
film whatever I can see in public.
I've just been told you've been filming private cars.
You're right. Afternoon, how are you?
I'm fine.
Good. Could you identify yourself as well for me, please?
Why?
Well, you've come in and you've approached me.
Yeah.
So it's in your policy to actually identify, okay, and failure to identify will result in retraining. Okay, so I'm asking you properly to identify yourself, please, sir.
Yeah, okay, fine. So why are you sitting here?
No, if you can identify yourself first, and then we will carry on with a conversation.
I think there's times where I have to identify myself.
Yeah, you do.
And there's times I simply have to
Yes, you do.
identify.
Yes, you do.
Of you recording here?
So you're basically coming down here just to try and provoke some sort of confrontation? Is that just...
No, I'm filming public property. That's what you're presuming, okay? Don't make a presumption on what I'm doing.
What is your reason for
okay? Well, first of all, identify yourself properly.
I can see it from Croydon Police Station.
Okay, and your shoulder number, please.
It's on my shoulder, you can see it.
No, not everyone can read numbers. That's why I'm asking you to say it.
Do you need help with that?
Well, why do you think I'm asking you to say it? No, I'm asking you to say it, please, sir.
I have to say.
Okay, so people that can't read numbers, that's all what you do.
Well, anyway,
Okay, that's why I'm asking you if you can actually say what your actual shoulder number is, please.
I can do anything, sir.
But you won't do that.
Don't need to.
Okay, so you don't need to.
From the outset, the officer's conduct radiated entitlement. When a member of the public politely requested his identification, a requirement under the College of Policing's Code of Ethics, his response was dismissive, "I don't think I have to." That remark alone revealed a troubling mindset, one where the uniform is viewed as a shield from accountability rather than a symbol of public service. When he eventually gave in to pressure, his so-called compliance was equally disrespectful. He didn't state his name or collar number, as protocol demands. Instead, he lazily pointed at his shoulder patch, treating the request as an inconvenience rather than a professional duty. This wasn't a minor lapse. It was deliberate defiance. The identification rule isn't a formality. It's meant to safeguard trust and ensure transparency between police and public. By refusing to uphold that standard, his tone and body language delivered a clear message: "I don't answer to you."
You're very arrogant. It makes no difference why I'm filming.
No, it does.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't.
Because you're simply here to,
No, it doesn't. No, that's what you're presuming.
What's the purpose of you filming this?
It's a public building.
Yeah, but some of these are private cars.
I can film whatever I can see in public.
Indeed.
Well, why do you do that?
Well, it makes no difference why I do it.
Why
It
do
makes
you
no
need to do
difference
that?
why I do it.
Well, it does.
What it does is
No, it
it's
doesn't.
one of these people that likes to provoke confrontation.
No, that's
So
what
you
you're
stick the video
presuming.
online and monetise
That's what
it.
you're presuming.
You just
okay?
monetise a video,
That's what
isn't
you're
it?
presuming.
No, you're one of these other many,
Yeah,
many
really.
fools
And
that
you're
goes
one of
and
these
reports
absolute turds, okay, that literally think that you can bully the public, speak to them the way
not
you
bullying
want,
anything.
failure to actually identify yourself properly, and we actually pay
And
for
you've gotta
meatheads
sort
like
this
you.
out.
We pay
You've
for
come to
meatheads
the
like
police
you.
station to provoke this
We pay for
confrontation,
no.
haven't
You approach me. Let's get it right. You approach me. You
You've
approach
come to the
me.
police station because
You
you want this
approach me.
confrontation.
You approach
Where have
me
you
to get
travelled
it
from to get
correct.
this confrontation?
Makes no difference where I've come from.
How far have you gone?
Makes
Just
no
have an answer
difference.
with the police
No,
officer.
you've come to me. You've come to
I've
me.
come to you to find out
yeah,
why
but
you're
you're the
recording
turd
police
that
cars.
came to me. Okay, to get it right. I'm doing nothing wrong with
The fact that this officer takes offense at his colleague being called a turd is almost comical. This isn't hate speech, nor is it a threat. It's a childish insult, the kind of remark any public official should be expected to brush off. Officers encounter far harsher words in tense situations, yet here, the reaction is hypersensitive and revealing. Rather than confront their own dismissive behavior, poor conduct, and failure to follow identification rules, the officer seizes on the mildest insult as a way to flip the script. Playing the victim over something so trivial is a classic deflection tactic. It shifts focus away from accountability and attempts to disguise the real issue, the officer's own arrogant attitude.
Like if we start calling you names.
Well, you're in an office.
Can you stop pointing
of
at
power.
me like that?
I will point as much as I want.
Well, it's a bit aggressive, isn't
Okay.
it? No one's been
No,
aggressive to you.
No,
You've come
you'll
out to make sure
come.
that
You'll
you're
come in,
okay
and you
and
two
you're
are both
safe.
pushing me closer and closer to this curb. Okay, so I'll actually ask you,
You
to
were
take
stood
a
on the
step
road a
back.
minute ago.
No, I won't. Not when you
you
approached
were.
me. No, I was not.
You were. You
So
were
I'll
stood on
ask
the
you
road.
to take a step back if you won't mind, please, sir. and then I can move forward from the curb. Thank you.
There you go.
Thank you very
Feel
much.
safer now, do you?
Okay.
Well, now there's a car coming.
I'm perfectly fine now.
Brilliant. Right, now why are you still outside the
It
back of
makes
the
a
police
difference
station?
why I'm here. I'm
Filming
filming
the back
public
gate.
property,
Yeah, but you're also filming private cars.
and I'm doing nothing wrong.
But why do you need to do that?
No, if they get caught
Where
in
is
it,
this
I'm
filming
filming
going?
public property. It makes a difference
Well,
what
it
I
does.
do with it. No, it does
It
not.
does to me.
No, it does not. Well, then you should not have approached me. Okay, you got this meathead here. Okay, and he is a complete meathead and
You're
should
kind of-
not be anywhere near the public.
Why is that?
Your abusive
Okay.
tone is getting kind of irritating, sir.
Yeah, well, you're irritating.
I know, but
you're
being
irritating.
kind of abusive, and that. of
I'm
course,
not being
is.
abusive.
You threaten me.
I haven't threatened you at all.
Oh, no, sorry,
How have I
threatened.
threatened you?
Quite right. You haven't threatened.
Okay, so
You've been
that
abusive.
This officer's conduct shows how easily mild language can be twisted into something more serious as a way to assert control. He begins with a false accusation, claiming the auditor threatened him, a serious charge. But once challenged, he quickly retreats and shifts to, "Well, you've been abusive." That sudden change highlights how flimsy and dishonest his position really is. And what does he call abuse? The words meathead and turd. Childish, yes, but hardly offensive enough to justify legal action. Officers are public servants expected to handle criticism and ridicule. Inflating light insults into abuse is not professionalism. It's a blatant misuse of authority.
just
Public order offence.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
It is.
You cannot be
Resident-
offended
I can
in the
be
office of
offended.
duty. No, you cannot.
I can
No,
be
you
offended.
cannot,
I
because
can.
you've got to. You've got
got to
to
have slightly
expect.
thicker skin than
No,
the average
you've
member of
got to
public.
expect language, okay, and saying turd, okay, is in the actual English dictionary. So
Being
look it up.
abusive.
Look it up.
Stop being abusive.
Look it up, okay? Turd is not
being
abusive.
abusive.
Turd is not
Stop calling me
abusive.
names.
You say it's not a rude word. However, the definition of turd is a rude word for someone who you think is unpleasant. I'm not doing business with that little turd as an example. Okay? So it clearly is a rude word.
Yeah,
So
but
you
it's
are
not a
being
swear
rude.
word. But it's not swear words.
You have to swear.
Yep, and
But
you
are
and you have
being
to
rude.
expect that.
You are calling me names.
Yeah,
Which
and?
does now.
Okay,
Public order
so
offence.
you came.
It also is
Public order. Okay, so
also
who's so you
antisocial
can
behaviour.
you cannot
So due to
actually
antisocial
you
behaviour,
cannot
under
actually.
section 50 of the police
Okay,
reform act,
okay.
I've got to require them to provide me
Right,
details.
so then here's the question for you. Under section 50 then,
Of the Police Reform Act,
under section
if you
50,
don't reply-
you've got
give me
to
the
have
details.
proof. No, you've got to have proof.
if you don't provide me your details, you can be arrested for it.
Okay, go for it. I want to see an inspector.
The officer takes a trivial, subjective interpretation of a mildly rude word, one that is neither threatening nor obscene, and tries to inflate it into something resembling criminal conduct. By attempting to frame a harmless non-swear word as antisocial behavior, and then invoking Section 50 of the Police Reform Act 2002, his actions reveal not just weak policing but a troubling disregard for both legality and ethics. Section 50 was designed with a very specific purpose. It allows officers to request someone's name and address only if they reasonably believe that individual has engaged in antisocial behavior. The law defines that behavior as causing harassment, alarm, or distress to others. That safeguard exists to prevent abuse. Yet in this situation, none of those conditions were met. There was no member of the public upset, no complaint made, and no objective context to justify its use. Instead, the officer swung Section 50 like a hammer in a situation that didn't even call for tools. The auditor's calm challenge, highlighting the lack of a victim and absence of swearing, only made the officer's overreach more absurd.
Okay,
things
I'm
first.
entitled to see an inspector, right? And
One
if
thing
you're
at a
if
time.
you're
So
actually
what is your
using
details,
Section
sir?
50, okay, I need you to actually use the words correctly in
What
Section
is your name,
50
sir?
and what part of Section 50 you're using, please.
What's your name?
What
sir?
part of Section 50 are you using?
We're not going to have a keep
What part of Section 50 are you using, please?
We're not going to have a keep conversation.
Well,
about
no, you need to tell me what part of Section 50
And I
you're
have done.
using for. No, you
Due to
haven't. You
antisocial
just said
behaviour,
Section
I'm
50.
requiring your details.
Okay, so where's the antisocial behaviour?
You stand here constantly calling us
Okay,
names.
that's not antisocial
It
behaviour.
will be for me.
Well, for
So-
you, okay, you can't be the arresting officer.
Okay.
Okay, nor can you because you're directly involved.
You haven't been
You're directly involved.
So, are you going to provide your details or not, sir?
I'm not going to provide anything because I've done nothing wrong.
So
Well, you can be guilty of an offence if any person is arrested for failing to provide their true name and address may be arrested on the standing. Arrest provisions of the Police and Criminal Justice Act 1984.
Okay.
Okay, I have.
But are you going to provide
if
your details
I have reason
or-
to believe that you're acting in an antisocial manner.
Yeah, and where is that antisocial
You are.
behaviour? No, I'm not.
Well, you are. You're swearing.
No, I'm not.
You're swearing.
Stanley,
big-
I'm not
constantly calling us
swearing.
names.
Let's get it right. Turd is not swearing.
believe-
You're standing in the
Turd
street,
is not
constantly
swearing.
abusing
What
two
you
people.
believe and what
That is
actually is the
antisocial.
law
Are you
is
in a-
different.
Are you in a public place?
Okay? I'm in a public place.
Are you being
Is there
offensive?
members of the public here?
Yes.
They don't need
Where?
to.
Where?
We are members of the
Where?
public.
No, you're not. You're an officer.
Yes.
Okay,
Well,
you're an
I'm a member
officer.
of the public.
No, you're an officer. No, you're not a member of the public. You are an officer
So what
there
am I?
to uphold the law.
When the officer claims, "We are members of the public," to justify a public order offense, he misrepresents his role entirely. While police officers are citizens in a broad sense, when acting in their official capacity they are not considered ordinary members of the public. This is an important legal distinction, particularly under the Public Order Act and Section 50 of the Police Reform Act. For such powers to be valid, the conduct must cause harassment, alarm, or distress to an actual member of the public, not to an officer carrying out official duties. Officers are trained, equipped, and expected to tolerate criticism, insults, or dismissive language without overreacting. By trying to position themselves as the victim, the officer undermines the law and stretches its meaning. The auditor calmly exposes this flawed reasoning, responding with clarity, confidence, and factual precision.
Not abuse your powers.
Who's abusing the power?
Okay? You tried to abuse Section 50 just now.
I'm not trying
Yeah,
to
you
do
did.
anything.
Okay, and you
I'm
still
required
haven't
to provide
put. Well, what you actually require? I require a superior officer as my actual legal right. So I've asked you to actually get a sergeant or an inspector to come
One
out.
thing at a time.
Okay. Well, then you
Are you
do
gonna
that
provide
first,
the
and then
details?
we'll move forward from there.
Are you providing details
Okay.
or not?
I told you no.
No. Okay, fine. So at this point, then I'm going to have to arrest you for breaching Section 50, aren't I?
Okay, go
You
for
already
it.
have to do it.
It's your choice, not mine.
Well, no, it's yours.
It's
to
your
provide
choice.
details on
No,
this.
I don't need
Section 50 of
to,
the police
because
reform.
I've done nothing wrong.
We do have the powers.
I've
to
done
take
nothing
the
wrong.
address.
I've asked you
We're
to
not
produce
based on
where the member of the
Reasonably
public is,
you've engaged in
okay,
antisocial
for the
behaviour.
antisocial behaviour, okay?
Antisocial
You cannot
behaviour
be
is
the
defined
arresting
as
officer
something
for
that
that
people
if you were the one that you were saying that it was against, right? And that is what the law is,
Do you not listen to it?
okay? I'm talking to you, he's reading out whatever, I was talking to you. In this day and age of what?
There is a lot of issues.
Like what?
Security.
Okay,
you've
and
got
as I said,
terrorism,
is the building
you've got
secure?
domestic terrorism.
Is the building secure?
If people are filming, cameras, gates, key locks,
I'm filming public
cars
property.
coming in and out, private cars coming in and out.
Okay.
Not all police vehicles.
I try not to get private cars. I try not to get private
You don't
cars.
know what a private
Well,
car
it makes
is
no
at home.
difference. Well, if it gets caught, I'm still doing nothing wrong.
I mean, you could quite easily have stood out on the pavement and done
Well,
it.
I can stand exactly where I want on public.
This moment of the video exposes the officer's true motive, and it isn't law, it's discomfort. The auditor calmly explains he is filming a public building from a public place, which is entirely lawful. Rather than accept that, the officer shifts the focus, claiming, "There are private cars coming in and out." But that isn't a crime, nor does it meet the threshold of reasonable suspicion. It's simply a personal dislike of being filmed, disguised as legal grounds. The auditor even clarifies he avoids filming private vehicles where possible, showing respect. That effort only highlights how flimsy the officer's reasoning was.
Police station is public property. As long as I don't enter a restricted area, okay, then I'm actually standing where I'm publicly accessible, allowed to
That
go.
would be the front office.
Okay,
You're
and
not
exactly
allowed-
here, and exactly here.
But
If
this
I
is a little
want,
bit dangerous. You've got cars coming in and out.
makes no difference.
And
I'm
you've got
standing
private
on the
cars
pavement,
coming in and out.
and
There is no
your
policing
point is
purpose
what?
for you to be here, is there?
Okay, I'm entitled to stand here
What's your
and to
lawful
film.
purpose for being here?
Okay, filming in public is completely lawful.
Absolutely. However,
Okay,
you're
so
going into
that's why,
a police station.
and that is completely lawful
Well, why do you need to do that?
because it is lawful.
It's not really.
It is law. It's not.
You
Okay,
need a
right. I'm
lawful
just,
excuse.
you know, I'm just going to go into my bag for a minute just to pull something out
It may
for
be
the both of you.
lawful, but again,
Okay.
why do
Don't
you
you bring
need
out
to do
anything
it?
silly and
Okay.
something.
No,
something
that's why I was telling you what I was doing.
Well,
Okay.
a lot of people have
Right.
done that and pulled knives out.
Right. There you go, sir.
Who is this?
Okay. And you'll actually see what it actually states, that I'm completely lawful to actually film any police officer, any property of the police, okay, any station, anything.
Yeah.
To plod or not to plod?
How you doing, buddy?
How you doing, mate? You alright?
Yeah, not bad.
What are you doing today?
Good, not too bad.
So he is doing those videos then?
YouTube, yes.
I don't need to identify myself.
Police
You're famous.
stations, knowing
I don't
that we're
need to
gonna come and
identify
speak to you
myself.
so you can monetize a video.
I don't need to identify myself. You
That
tried to
presumption
abuse.
is- we were
You
correct
tried to
then.
abuse Section
We were
50.
correct, weren't we?
You tried
We
to
were
abuse.
correct.
No, I was
We were
correct
correct,
because
weren't we?
you
We were
tried to
correct.
abuse your powers.
You've come
You
here
tried
just
to
to get a
abuse
video
your
that you can
powers.
monetize, haven't
You
you?
tried to abuse your powers. This is why we
Give you
do
the
this.
opportunities.
You can see the way that the other officers went and the sergeant. So yeah, what I'll do is I will put those complaints in, there's no doubt about that. Altogether, I believe that I've got 14 complaints all going through at this moment in time.
The moment the
I do
officer recognizes the auditor from his channel, the entire tone shifts. The threats stop. Section 50 vanishes from the conversation, and suddenly the real reason for the hostility is laid bare. The officer says, "You've just come here to get a video from us," confirming that their issue wasn't with any law being broken but with being filmed and potentially exposed for poor conduct. That one sentence dismantles their entire narrative. The auditor may have come for content, but what he uncovered was far more significant: an overreach of power, emotional policing, and officers prioritizing ego over lawful procedure. From the very start, the officers were confrontational, dismissive of basic obligations like proper identification, and triggered by the lightest of language. Words like meathead and turd, not threats, not swearing, were somehow inflated into claims of abuse and threats, ultimately serving as justification for demanding personal details under Section 50. That is not sound policing, it is a desperate reach for control. The justifications shifted repeatedly. First it was offensive language, then antisocial behavior, then filming private cars, and finally personal discomfort. When discomfort couldn't be legally substantiated, the officers attempted to twist the auditor's presence into some kind of agenda or to guilt him emotionally. But the auditor stuck to the law, explained his actions clearly, and refused to fold under pressure. The moment the officers realized who they were dealing with, they folded. That alone tells you everything about why public audits are essential. They expose how quickly some officers default to intimidation, interpret legislation loosely, and let ego override principle. From the outset, this encounter revealed officers more concerned with controlling the situation than upholding the law. By the end, the auditors had done their job. The officers were left with nothing but silence and retreat. This is precisely why audits matter. They hold authority accountable, shine a light on misconduct, and remind officers that public scrutiny exists. Whether the officers liked it or not, Plod fulfilled his role, showing that lawful, principled observation can prevent the abuse of power. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It supports independent coverage. Also, check out Plod's channel in the description and show him some support. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next audit.